Hey everybody, this is Erica, and I will be presenting to you guys my final discussion post for this summer semester part 2 class. For this assignment, we were asked to explain the Brown family situation and how we would deal with that. I'm not going to go into details because I know y'all already read the whole thing, so no need to go into all of that. I chose scenario B for the Brown family. This is where the parents came in to see you on session number 6 without the kids, explained that Luke, their 15-year-old, has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. He's been experiencing manic episodes, so he's not concentrating in school, which is causing him to skip class, which was kind of like the main problem in the beginning, is his truancy with school. And the manic episodes could obviously be connected to the fights that he's been having with his sister, Anna and Claire. So they have a bunch of fears. I'm guessing their psychiatrist didn't exactly speak to them for very long. It seems like it's a typical thing. The psychiatrist told them, they explained to him the symptoms. Psychiatrist gave them a diagnosis, probably filled out a prescription or something along those lines, and sent them on their way. So definitely during that session 6, I hope I would have asked if they were given a prescription or something along those lines to see while they're asking for his well-being and wonder how to deal with this, if he'll ever lead a normal life, to kind of, I guess, see where they are as far as the whole medication, how that may alter his behavior. I certainly don't want to tell them that everything's going to be a-okay. He's not going to change or anything like that if he's on medicine until I know exactly what he has been given. I would also try to get consent from the parents to communicate with the psychiatrist to kind of see what his reasonings were behind the prescription if he was given one, and what his reasonings were behind the diagnosis. So from that point, just kind of working with the parents and letting them know that yes, he can lead a normal life. Just because he was given a diagnosis of bipolar disorder doesn't mean that he can't go out and get a job and move out and certain things, but if maintained, he'll be just fine. Yes, it is a serious diagnosis, but with maintenance, consistent maintenance, and the right type of maintenance, he could lead a normal life just as anybody else. So at this point, it's kind of difficult for me to, especially with the integrated family therapy, to, I guess, start to perceive what I would talk about the next 3. I know what I would want to talk about, but a lot of the important stuff has kind of already happened, such as the first session. The third session has occurred where I've given out an assessment card according to the integrative family therapy method. So I'm guessing that I have already distinguished what the problem was, some of the main problems, the family strengths, and what the family can do, I guess, to alleviate these behaviors and negativity. So how would I structure my sessions? Will family members be present for all sessions, or will you have particular family members for part of a session or a full session? I kind of see this as my 7th session, technically, would be with just Luke at first. I would talk to him about his diagnosis, give him any information that he would want about it, see how he felt, try to get him comfortable with sharing and talking about his diagnosis with not only his parents, which I'm sure he's already done, but also with his sisters. I think it would really benefit the family if the sisters understood what he was going through, since a lot of the fighting and miscommunication is between them. Get them try to understand that when he's having manic episodes, to try not to take it personally and try to work with him to calm him down instead of being upset and retaliating immediately. And maybe it would be ideal for the end of that session is kind of talk with him and talk with the family about the feelings that he's having and what's going on with his diagnosis, and from there kind of make it a goal for the next session to kind of, which would be 8, for the family to kind of pick up on what are some of the symptoms they see Luke showing throughout the day, or maybe before he's about to have a manic episode, or while he's within a manic episode, to see what little tics is he displaying. Maybe he is clenching his hands, maybe he shakes his head, maybe he starts talking really fast. They can pick up on things like that to kind of predict that he's going into an episode, and to kind of, okay, what to do, what not to do, establish those boundaries within each other and within the family. So that would, I think, be a great focus for 8. And I think for the 9th one, I really liked the toss the ball activity. Basically, I really like it because it emphasizes the family's strengths. And I'm sure that this family has many strengths, and it's nice to let them know that, and to validate Luke and let him know that, okay, you have this diagnosis, but it is manageable, and just comfort him and let his family know, don't take things personally when he acts out. Just help and work with him. And that's the best thing they can do. And if they can communicate amongst each other to understand that, then the whole, I'm not saying the whole problem will be solved, but it will make life a lot better and less difficult. So in the toss the ball session, what you do at first, and you guys can find this in the Unit 6, Dr. Crow posted it, and it's awesome little list of interventions for families. Toss the ball, the first part, each family member kind of tosses the ball to each other, and for about 5 minutes, until every person has heard at least 2 nice things about themselves. So ask the person to describe their experience of what other family members said and what was nice to them. So maybe Luke would pass the ball to his sister Anna, and they could say, I really enjoy talking to you late at night. We have nice nighttime talks, or watching TV together. The next one, have them say something that they would enjoy doing but aren't currently doing with the person to whom which they throw the ball to. The third one involves what is said when one catches the ball. The person who catches the ball is instructed to say something they would like to change about themselves and what prevents their ability to make that change. And lastly, when one tosses the ball to another, the recipient shares an idea about what they could do to improve the family life. I think this would be a great way for the family to just kind of work together in a positive way, but also in a reflective way. And that would be my last one. The focus on each session obviously would most likely be Luke and helping him, and I guess increasing communication within the family. And finally, answer question 293 in the workbook, found on page 158. And for that question, we're supposed to think of a family, where interpersonal skills and psychoeducational family therapy would be a treatment of choice. Identify the problem and state your reasons for why this approach would help them. The first thing that pops to my mind when I think of this, interpersonal skills, is the way people speak to each other, their tone of voice, facial expressions, body language. So all of that ties together when people are communicating. I think this would be a great type of therapy for families with adolescents in particular, because adolescents can't exactly, they're very emotional, a lot of hormones and stuff going on within them, new feelings that they've never experienced developmentally, and they're not able to clearly process things as much as an adult would. So a huge problem for a teenager may be something very minute for an adult. But the teenager is in a serious crisis about it, and they just want advice from their parents, but instead their parents are maybe poking fun at them, oh, you'll understand one day, or when you grow up, this won't mean nothing to you. Well, right now, it does mean something to their teenager, and by just shutting them down, I think that's how a lot of communication blocks come up. A teenager, instead of letting their parents know how they feel, not in just crisis situations, but all the time, kind of puts up this, okay, they don't care, so I'm just going to be quiet. and then problems begin to arise, and kind of like passive aggressiveness and whatnot. It's better for an adult to just listen to their teenager and their adolescents, let them get it out, how they're feeling, and encourage them that this feeling, if they're in a huge crisis, it can pass. Like, you could focus on better things instead of this huge negative problem, or maybe share a story from their past that they've may experienced the same thing and how they got over it and what they did, and try to like bring positivity into the situation instead of shutting them down. So, well, that's all I got. Thank you for the awesome semester, everybody. Bye.